Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm still chilly, it is still wet outside, and we did have a weather warning yesterday. Now, I don't really mind any of it. I put the trash out early this morning and actually enjoyed wrapping up in a scarf and gloves and a puffer jacket. What I do not enjoy is the mud. I really have to buckle down and clean boots today, otherwise I will soon have to go buy new ones. I'm joking. My name is not Meghan Markle. My boots are 3 years old, and my trainers, or as we call them, tackies, are also about 3 years old, and the soles are starting to crack. But now they are really comfortable. So this winter I'll still clean them, and next winter I may buy new ones. Okay, now let's see, what are we going to talk about today? Well, before I get to the really interesting part, let me just quickly share something with you. I see so many people are blaming WME for the Tillman Award debacle. Well, my one and only line of information to such things, a very reliable source, sent me a few links and strongly denies that WME is involved. Number one, WME only represented Meghan and not Harry. Number two, WME is a talent agency and not a PR agency. And Ari Emanuel would have days, weeks ago, told Harry and Meghan to stand back and sit down if he said anything at all, because PR is not his business. Finding paying gigs for his talent is his business. This lady was quite irate and said she cannot listen to a lot of BS anymore. She's sick of the people grabbing hold of a name and running with it over and over. First it was Sunshine Sachs. Everything was Sunshine Sax's fault, and now everything is WME's fault. This woman was quite irate. I honestly don't know personally, but our interactions had always been calm or even funny. This time, not so. I know she may be listening to this video, so I can also tell you that I do not exactly know what her connection to the entertainment industry is at the moment. All I know is that she was in production and is now retired, and that, as far as I know, most, if not all, of the information she has given me to date had eventually proven to be correct. I'm not saying all of it was. I am saying I cannot think of anything or remember something which was not true or proven not to be true in the long run. So I do appreciate and pay attention to her information, and I personally tend to believe it. She has no reason whatsoever to lie to me. I'm not paying her, and we are not on DM or emailing each other every day. There's absolutely nothing in it for her. It is her opinion, and she does not know for sure, so please note the distinction. But it is her opinion that it is more likely that it was Serena Williams who nominated or suggested Harry. And you know what? I agree with her. And as if our opinion needed validating, there was this very, very interesting comment on yesterday's video. It was from EF Jane 99 or F Jane 99, and I'm going to read it to you. Just noticed something about Meghan Markle's brand, American Riviera Orchard. The initials ARO are also on the sash she received in Nigeria. Does anyone know what ARO means in the African context? Well, let me interrupt here because I know, because I made endless jokes about it. It stands for Adamazi Omu, which literally means daughter of an aristocrat. Remember me joking and saying it was more an honor for Thomas Markle than for Meghan? Anyway, let's continue. Also, what is weird, in my opinion, is that ARO are also the initials of her friend Serena Williams's younger daughter, Adira River Ohanian, who was born on August 2023. A month later, she was in Düsseldorf for Invictus and met the Nigerians who wanted to make her princess and later gave her that sash. Then, in March, she comes out with her brand ARO. Does anyone else think this is odd? Coincidence? Well, right off the bat, no, I do not think it is coincidence. Not even a little bit. This is Meghan Markle's MO, or modus operandi, and we have seen it so often with her that we can safely say it is a pattern. Meghan loved the Archie comics, so she named her cat Archie. Later she named her son Archie. Then she named her foundation Archwell Foundation, named their businesses Archwell Productions and Archwell Audio, and her podcast Archetypes. But it gets worse. Remember, my opinion only, so please don't sue me, okay? Meghan had a fleeting friendship, likely a few email back and forth, with Chrissy Teigen. And then in September 2020, Chrissy had a miscarriage, which we later, only in 2022, learned was a medical procedure to save her life. And unfortunately, the baby did not survive. So, what does Meghan do, or what did Meghan do when Chrissy had her miscarriage in September 2020? Well, in November 2020, she writes an essay for the New York Times about a miscarriage she, Meghan, allegedly had in July 2020. And then, suddenly, she's no longer friends with Chrissy. But we must add that even her essay was a very slightly altered version of a book called Chasing Life by Stephanie Tong. Another example, remember the LA riot story about seeing people with firearms on the back of a truck, the smoke, the ash? Well, it did not happen. Her father took her out of LA and only brought her back when everything settled down. How often have we spoken about Meghan's plagiarism? Even her famous "A face without freckles is like a night without stars" was from a song which came out before she made it her own. Even her "don't give it 5 minutes if you are not going to give it 5 years" is not her own wisdom. It is called the 5x5 rule, which originally stated that if you come across an issue, take 5 minutes to think whether or not it will matter in 5 years. And the quote had been used by many people in some shape or form, likely before Meghan was even born. Now, let's take Meghan's actions of literally stealing names, identities, and life stories from other people a little further and just hear me out before you run away and go hide behind your couch pillows. I truly believe that Meghan is a real human form of a succubus. Okay, so just quickly, what is a succubus? In mythology, a succubus is a female demon believed to be sexual in nature, who appear to men in their dreams or in the physical world to seduce them, steal their energy, and sometimes deplete their energy until they die. In Jewish folklore, Lilith is thought to be the original female demon. So, side note, we all thought she named her supposed daughter after the Queen, didn't we? But why would Meghan Markle name her daughter after an old racist white queen? Maybe because her nickname was so close to that of a female demon. You go think about it and you decide. Okay, so some believe that the male and female created in the Garden of Eden were Adam and Lilith, and that Eve came later. According to this legend, Lilith rejected her role as Adam's subservient wife and left the Garden of Eden. Now, okay, does that sound familiar? Of course it does. As a working royal, Meghan was also expected to let the real royal, her husband, take the lead, go first, and be subservient to him, at least in public. Not because he was male and she female, but because he was the blood royal. So, because she rejected and could not handle that, because of her narcissism, she left the Garden of Eden, the richness and protection of the monarchy. Now, further folklore surrounding Lilith was focused on her danger to children and mothers. Does that sound like Meghan or not? What do you think? Stories of bullying staff to the point, particularly female staff, to the point where they break down, and children pushing her away rather than being drawn to her. I mean, honestly, you decide. The story goes on to say that continued visits from the succubus would lead to the decline of a man's health, both physical and mental. Well, we have also witnessed that. There are times that Harry looks like shite, and as if he needs to be in some kind of institution rather than walk the streets. So yes, I can hear you guys laughing, saying Bookie had lost her mind. Oh, no, I haven't. I'm not going to go into the various psychological writings and cases. Really, it makes for rather hefty reading. But there is a succubus phenomenon manifesting as part of psychopathology, particularly in patients diagnosed with schizophrenia. Interesting, very interesting, don't you think? Okay, guys, now this was a mouthful today, and I did a little bit of research specifically for you today. So I hope you enjoyed it, and God willing, I will be back here tomorrow to entertain you, chat to you, and keep you company. Please take good care of yourselves. Until then, bye.